Okay.
What you say about the first couple of days of practice?
I feel like we're working out the little nicks that we got to work out, to make our defense better. But I feel like it's going to show, especially when we put the pads on, guys ready to be physical. It showed today, got in some skirmishes. But, I feel like guys are just ready to get in pads and get after it.
Skirmishes. What does the team captain do when he sees a skirmish?
Do what I can. It's bigger guys than me. It's guys like Sosa and Colton and them. It's kind of hard to manage bodies that big, but I do what I can, to motivate them to stop. But I can't really physically go do anything.
You just politely ask him to stop harassing them.
I try to do what I can. It might involve some different language, but I get them to stop if I can.
Sounds like Santos has really matured, based on what Paul was saying. What's your take on that?
I feel like he's embraced that captain role really, really well. Guys really motivated him to come and be a vocal leader, for the defense. He kind of, he has a loud voice, and, his play shows it on the field. And I feel like he's matured over the years. I got to watch him grow as a player, since I've been here. And, to see him embrace his leadership role is really a task I feel like he's handling pretty well.
Coach Rhodes said that one of the reasons he thinks you got elected captain was because you spoke the truth and you weren't afraid to speak. Is that something that just comes natural to you, or how did that evolve?
I was always taught to be myself, so, I'm not going to go be blunt. I'm going to go be blunt with you. If it's something wrong and I feel like it needs to be addressed, I'll go tell you about it. We got, Coach B lets us speak, to the team sometimes. He lets players speak. And, sometimes I'll call people out, if it's something I feel like they should work on. It's something I see, a leader should do. Sometimes it's tough love whenever you got to speak to somebody.
You got a lot of senior defensive backs, and you guys have welcomed in a bunch of freshmen. What are your initial thoughts? Has anybody stood out, taken anybody under your wing, that kind of stuff?
All of those guys are talented. I feel like you'll see, who will potentially get more playing time based off of these next couple of days. Installing majority of the defense and putting on pads and seeing how physical guys are and how physically ready they are to play the game at this level. But guys like Chevin and Cameron and Quez, all of those guys can play, with their talent they have right now, but it's just a matter of, grasping the scheme and then coming and being able to be physical against guys, SEC caliber.
I know you're focused on this year, but have you thought about a 6-year possibility?
If I got it, I'll take it. That's a year that passed me by. I really wish I could get back, but, if I can't, I'm going to just take advantage of what I have right now.
Have there been any conversations about that?
I don't think so. I really haven't talked to anybody about it. If it comes up, it comes up. If not, I'm going to go play this year, with everything I have.
Even like strictly nickel or corner, where all of you work?
These past couple of days just working some of both. Corner, we haven't installed our nickel package yet, but that would be primarily where I play. But right now, some corner, some free safety, just some of all of that. He told me be prepared to play whatever. So, that's how it goes for me. Yeah, Coach Rhodes. It's the same thing, embrace whatever he wants me to play.
Wasn't there some game that had you an outside linebacker
that's
years ago? The scheme anyway.
That's the nickel. It's basically the same thing, but yeah.
Is Liddell still backing you up in nickel?
Nickel? I think it's – I really don't know right now since we haven't installed it yet. We'll put it in tomorrow, maybe sometime later in camp. But I think right now, based off of reps, it'll be me and Josh as far as I know.
What are the overriding principles of the 3-4 defense that make it the things you have to do in the 3-4 that, make it imperative for it to work well?
I guess it involves guys up front, being physical and being able to dictate things up front. They got to control gaps up front, and then you got linebackers that got to be able to make plays in those holes that are going to be there. So that's pretty much, the overall thing that he emphasizes on is those guys up front. That goes on both ways. Offense, the guys, it starts with the guys up front. Same thing on defense.
Does that change anything that you guys do in the backfield, in the defensive backfield?
Not really. We scheme-wise is almost the same for us. We've done some things. We changed a few things, but it doesn't really overall change anything for us.
How difficult has it been to be kind of jack of all trades, or each day you're practicing a different position rather than concentrating on one?
Difficult. It's not really difficult. It's just being conditioned. You got to be conditioned to play all those. It'll be reps where I'm at 1s with the nickel, 2s with the corner, 3s with the free safety. It's just you got to be conditioned to do things like that. Coach Herb and those guys do a great job of conditioning us. But Coach Rose talks about being, in football shape. It's a difference in being in football shape and being conditioned. I mean, you got to be able to carry your pads, and I just practice as hard as I can until he says go harder longer. If you can go harder longer every single day, you should be able to last the whole game. I mean, 4 overtimes if you need to.
Has it helped a lot just kind of knowing what everybody does, each position in the secondary since you've been in all of them?
It should. I mean, I feel like if you know what somebody else is doing, you should be able to go play that position if you needed to.
What did you think of the SEC Media Day experience, looking back on it?
It was fun. I mean, like I said, I didn't ever think I would be going there when I first came up here as a walk-on, but, it's like a dream come true to be able to do all this that I'm doing right now, so I loved every part of it.
It's pretty exciting to be around the media, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I love you guys. I mean, yeah, it's fun.
Hey, you're talking about how the key is really up to the 3-4s what the guys do up front. Do you feel good you guys have the personnel up there to make it work pretty well?
I mean, we got some of the best in the country. I mean, you got Sosa, you got TJ, you got Jonathan Marshall, you got Carl. I mean, the list goes on and on. You got guys who can play. I feel like they can go play on any team in this country if they wanted to and make an impact. And, you got guys up front like that. That just motivates us in the back end. You see them up there being successful, holding off 2-3 people. That makes you want to do your job even better.
This defense is a defense of no superstar. There's not a superstar on this defense. Coach said accountability is a big issue. One guy's got to pick another guy up to make things work in this defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like with we got guys who play off, we got energy guys, and you got guys like Santos who brings energy every day. You got guys like Pulley who bring energy every day, Sosa, Dre Greenlaw. Those guys, if they can motivate their position group alone, that'll motivate us to play together as a defense. And I feel like that's what he means. There's no stars on this defense, but you got people who can come together and play really good football.
You have some talented new guys in the defensive backs. What are they doing to push you guys as veterans?
I feel like we pushing them more than they're pushing us. We trying to make them make us better to compete for our spots. You got guys like Chevin who can come and play probably right away. You just got to grasp what's going on. Learn the new techniques. I mean, it's different coming up from high school and playing a whole different scheme. It's just a matter of them pushing us and us pushing them. It's kind of a give and get kind of thing. It's just we motivate each other in the back end.